Okay, the first time he did this to me, I was in my robe. Yeah, I was in my robe, so I know the feeling. Now I'm prepared.
That's all right. So, what's going on?
Presently celebrating my son's 16th birthday. Just had some cheesecake.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
16, man.
Yeah, I'm barely handling that.
Is he your oldest?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. My oldest is 18, man. She's, downstairs deciding whether she wants to go to Florida with her friends over Christmas break or I don't even know. I can't. I'm like I can't. So I'm
Send you a postcard?
yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I hear
you. So, Andrea, stop you hiding, girl.
I'm trying to figure out my phone. Hold on.
Now listen, you're like a computer. You're like a computer like genius over there. I don't want to hear none of your excuses.
There you are.
Yeah. So Andrea and I, we just got off a call with somebody from her network. So we just did a call, and she got some good stuff going on. So I'm gonna tell. This is good because I actually want to do some training more. So if it's just this group, it's fine. Let's use our time more effectively, right? So I was. Do you know the honey tree, Melissa?
I know you were in Linwood Square, but I haven't patroned that.
No, it's not Linwood Square. It's where the movie theater is, Tilton Road.
Oh.
It's a place called the Honey Tree. It's a little like health and wellness store.
No, I'm not familiar with it.
So I went in to get some probiotics and some just supplements, check out what she had. And I used to be friends with the guy that owned it before he sold it to her, and she had like changed it up. There was like a little couch in the back area, and I'm like, what are you doing with the couch? Like, what's up? Like, what is that? And she said they're doing events, and they do CBD oil events. They do water filter events. They do, I don't know, health and wellness events. She's got one where like a chef comes over and they teach like health recipes or something. So just stuff to like get people into the store probably, right? Yeah. And they're promoting on Facebook. They'll hand out little pamphlets or whatever when people come in. And so we're talking, and she's like, well, what are you up to? And I'm like, I'm like, Vox Direct, and I'm like, you should be on Vox Direct, and she's like, what is it? And I was like, let me show you. And, so I take out my phone, and I'm like, when someone calls, and I said, but tell me how you're more about how you're marketing to the people that are coming in for the events. And she told me how they're marketing, and I'm like, okay, so let me paint you a picture, right? I said, she had like a little like whiteboard behind her, like behind the register. And I said, my number right here, like, because I took my phone out and I texted her from my 844 number so she could see that it was coming from different from my regular phone. So I said, imagine if you had an 800 number on the board and it said, text CBD to this number to learn about our events and specials. And then every time somebody came and checked out at the counter, you said, hey, if you're interested in CBD, we have a speaker coming in. I can get you more information. Just take your phone out right now, text CBD to this number, and you'll be on the list. Do you think that would be hard? And she's like, no, we could do that. I could train my 2 girls. They could do that. That would be very easy. And I said, now, you could have other lists. You could have water filters, or you could just have honey tree. you know, or you could text the word honey to, you know, to this, right? And so as we're talking about it, I started showing her like, okay, so right now, when you communicate, how are you communicating out to all these people? Is they're doing an email. So the fact is that most people don't respond to emails. And she's like, yep, I totally agree. I spent all this time. I'll put this email together, and then nobody responds to it. And I said, right, but a text message, and she interrupts me. She's like, everybody responds to the texting. I'm like, exactly. I said, so if you had 100 people on your list and you said, hey, we're doing an event on Monday night, bring your friends or whatever, that's a direct communication. That gets people in here. Now that is helping you grow your business. And I said, now what else could you do with that list? If you had hundreds of people on a list with all their cell phone numbers, and she's like, well, I just had a Cyber Monday sale and I saved everybody 25% off everything in the store. And I'm like, I would have loved to know that. If you would have texted me, I'm a client, if you would have sent me a text saying, you know, hey, this is Ruth from the Honey Tree, just wanted to let you know, Cyber Monday, everything in the store is 25% off. I would have been here on Monday to buy something. And, you know, I'm like, you're missing that customer loyalty communication. She's like, I know, we've been trying. It's just that, you know, I can't add expenses. And I'm like, exactly, right? If you look at the virtual receptionist side alone, even though it's great, it's an added expense. If you look at the text blast marketing side, you can justify it because it's bringing in business. Right. It's growing your business. So when I explained both sides to her, she's like, when you first started talking about the virtual receptionist stuff, she's like, as good as it sounded, I'm like canceling contracts and I'm like trying to get rid of stuff to cut costs. But when you told me about the other thing, you know, I would do that. And I'm like, no, it's not one or the other. It's all together. She's like, you're telling me for those prices you just showed me, it includes both? She's like, all right, what do I do? You know, like, how do I, you know, I said, all right, well, so anyway, long story short, you know, and Andre, you kind of got to hear when we were, you know, I told Aaron when we were on the phone, but it's a matter of, number one, having a conversation, and this is why I keep talking about, you got to be a product of the product and know how the product works in order to be able to have an effective communication with some of these stores on how they would use it real time to like get them to see it. Because if it sounds too hard, then they won't do it, right? So it's got to be easy, and you know, it's got to be a clear connection to, if I spend this, I can see it giving me this. Like, so with Aaron, what did I immediately talk about with Aaron was the lemonade, right?
Yeah, lemonade, yeah.
But she said, well, lemonades are a big hit. So I said, imagine if you had a list and you said, I got a new batch of lemonade, first come, first serve. I didn't have to even get a response from her. I know she's sitting there saying, yeah, that would work, right? And that would get me more business. And that's how I think what's been working, you know, when I'm talking to some of these places. What did you want to say something or add something?
Yeah. So what was the turning point when you sat there? Because of course she sat there and her objection was that she didn't want to add any expenses. What got her to realize that this wasn't to be looked at as another expense?
Because she saw it bringing business in. So she answered her own objection. I'll be honest, like, you know, sometimes I'm going too fast and I handle objections too soon. And sometimes I can slow it down. Today I was slow and I just let her talk, and she kind of handled her own. It wasn't even an objection, because she said, the way she said it is, she said, when you explain the virtual receptionist side, you know, she's like, as much as I was engaged in what you were saying and I'm interested, I just looked at it as an added cost. But when you now explain the text marketing, if that's included, that to me, I can see how that would bring me business. Now that to me is not an expense. And if you're telling me I get the virtual receptionist included, then that's going to make my business look bigger and more professional. Then that sounds like a no-brainer. It wasn't even selling. It was referring. And that's really how it's supposed to be anyway. Right. And then, of course, as the conversation, went on, I'm like, so is the water filters, that's a network marketing company. The CBD oil, that's a network marketing company. She's not a big builder, she's not like going to be a big team builder or nothing, but I'm like, do you, if you could get this product that I'm showing you, if I could show you how to do it, and show you how to get it for free, is that something you'd be interested in? And she's like, you had me at hello. So that is really like something I think we might be missing in the conversation too, is if it's just selling it to them, it's one thing, but there's a referral program that we can't look past for $29. Mm-hmm. Now, technically it's $29 plus they do have to do the $10 because they need the replicated website. But so what? $29 plus 10 plus 89, so $140, and then it's going to be about $100 a month instead of 89. It'll not be 99 instead of 89. Let's say if they did the pro, right? Because pro is about where people need, if they're not building a business. And if you do that, you don't need that many customers in order for you to now get your product for free. But the thing is, like, you don't know who you're going to potentially refer, who might talk to somebody, who talks to somebody, who talks to somebody, and it all links back up to you. And all of a sudden now this person has like a huge network that they want to, bring over, or they have, they have 3,000 people in their, a networking thing, or, you don't know, it's like, so it's always for us, like, you got to be thinking in a way of be them, like, I don't want to spend any money. So if you can show me how to do this where I don't have to spend any money, mm-hmm. then I'll listen. I mean, I don't mind putting a little bit of money out as long as I can get it back. That I'm okay with, as long as it's like not a lot, I just don't want to spend a lot of money, So I think having the conversation with the retail, you got to think, man, it's hitting me more and more. These are all small business owners. They're all hustlers. They all want to make money. You know what I mean? So it's like the conversation can naturally go from, let me show you how to grow your business, to, well, what if I could show you how to get it for free, to, well, do you know anybody that would be interested? And then, next thing you know, it's like, well, maybe they're not the builder, but maybe they're a conduit. So this is more like training stuff that will be. So just so you guys know, one of the things I'm working on right now is I'm working on on-demand training. So I'm going to have webinars that are on-demand training. So that way when people come in, they can go through a menu and pick whatever they want to get trained on and go and get trained on it on demand. Like if they want product training, if they want, how to enroll customers, whatever, like it's, we're going to have a bunch of different stuff. So that's one of the things I've been kind of working on behind the scenes. But one of the things I try to identify with people is I try to identify, one, is this person a builder, or are they a conduit, mm-hmm. a link to a builder? Mm-hmm. Like there's you have the builder who is the one who's going to come in and actively like work their list, prospect, put this in front of people. Like that's the builder, right? They're going to take it seriously. Then you have the conduit who just might be a good promoter. And maybe they just open their mouth and they know how to get you in front of other people. So it's like, you got to know when you're having that conversation, it's like, listen, if this is just going to be a conduit, then I got to make it really easy for them to enroll. I got to make it really easy for them to get on board. I got to make everything's got to be super easy, super simple. Like, just all you got to do is tell people about it and pass them to me. Mm-hmm. And if you notice what I've been doing over the past, month and a half, as we've been building this, and everybody only gets to see a little piece of me, but not the whole. But any person that anybody's had as far as a lead goes, I'm like, let them talk to me. I want to talk to them, right? Because until the network grows beyond my capacity, why not? Why wouldn't I want to talk to every single person that comes onto the team? Now there's a point where it goes expand by demand. Like, you can't get everywhere. You can't be in 10,000 places all at the same time. And leaders will have to emerge. But until then, I'll talk to anybody. So it doesn't matter to me if I'm talking to somebody who is just a conduit and they're going to lead me to a builder, or a builder that might lead me to a conduit that leads me to another builder. It doesn't matter. It's understanding that you have to almost, in your mind, believe and see that it's building and it's already built, and you just have to know that whoever's being brought to you is being purposely put in front of you to help you assemble the bricks to your organization. And however they're supposed to fall, they fall. You can't push people into things. You can't force them to be more than what they want to be. And sometimes I had a really good conversation with a guy like 2-3 weeks ago. We get online. I do a full presentation. This would be somebody personal to me that I'm, would be one of my people that I'd enroll. And I did a screen share. I did my product demo. I did the comp plan, and we get done. And he's like, family was coming in, so we said, let's meet not tomorrow, but the next day. So the next day comes, I send him a message, hey, what time's good? And he says, yeah, timing's not good right now, and I'm like, okay. I abide by the 4 agreements, right? I did the best I could where I was. I'm not going to take it personal. I didn't make any assumption or story of whether it was, something I did, nothing. I don't know. He was all excited, and then all of a sudden he wasn't excited. I'm like, I don't know, what happened. So, anyway, long story short, the only thing I did say is I said, how about I keep you on my text list? So that way you can be, as things roll out, you'll be able to see more, right? Mm-hmm. Definitely. So kept them on his text list. I've actually done this with a few people, right? And then 2 of them, this guy and another guy, both came back to me within the last couple of days saying, hey, I got some buzz. I got some people that I think want to get on board. How do I get involved? So sometimes people are just watching from the sidelines. Sometimes they're right in it, and sometimes they see it right away. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes they cancel, and you have to keep going and be patient and keep okay, would you like to reschedule? Okay, would you like to reschedule? It's like you just have to continue and keep pushing through, knowing that what is going to ultimately happen, the things that need to happen in order for this to build are going to ultimately happen. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So since you guys have me on here, you want to ask me any questions or anything that you want me to go over, like teach, train, or talk about?
I do.
Okay.
So, explain real quick your conduit, your analogy. A conduit and
a builder. A conduit.
Okay, so
a conduit is a connector. A connector. So let's say that a builder is somebody that's going to come in and take it seriously. They're going to show up to webinars. They're going to show up to meetings. They're going to show up to phone calls. They're going to, they're prospecting. They're making a list. They're building, right?
I know. My son, mommy loves you too. Sorry. I
That's
hear you.
okay.
Mommy loves you.
That's sweet.
And then, all right, so
a builder is a builder. A builder.
So the conduit would be the $29.
A conduit is a refer. Is a they just wanna refer this and they want you to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't care. You know what I mean? You want to go to work? Go to work. Now, will a conduit make millions of dollars or thousands? Probably not. You know what I mean? But maybe they'll get something, and maybe they'll get some referrals, and maybe they'll get something going. So you never know what a conduit can bring you. So being a networker means that you're looking for builders, but you're looking for those connectors too, those conduits, those people that can connect you with other people, and you want to make it easy and simple and light and cheap and like just throw in and and then refer me some other people. So like what's his name? Styles, right? Styles would be a conduit, right? He's probably not going to be a builder, but let's say he throws in for $29. Let's say he refers out some people. You're going out talking to the people. You're getting customers, right? But then let's say one of those customers says, well, how do you do this? And they want to be a builder, right? They're going to go to work with you. That you can't say go to work with Styles because he's not into it. He's not showing up. He's not training. He's not doing anything. You know what I mean? So you got to go to work with them. You know what I mean? But the thing is, you can go to work with them even though he referred over. That's the whole thing about building a network. It doesn't matter where somebody comes from. You can go work with everybody because you're getting paid a percentage of the whole business. It doesn't matter where somebody comes from. That's why I think for you it was a little hard in the beginning because I'm like, no, that's your, like, we'll get them, but it'll be your partner, but I can still work with them. You can work with them. It doesn't matter because it all goes to the same.
We're all getting paid. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Got it. So even if Styles winds up signing up other people and one of them turns out to be a builder under him, I could personally work with whoever he brings in because I'm still making a cut out of it. Same concept as you.
Right. But see, I would even go even further because I would say, Styles, why don't you sign up? It'll cost you an extra $10 a month because you'll need a website and you'll have to pay $29. And then, all you got to do is introduce me to people and set me up, kind of like I did with you with him. You know what I mean? Like I kind of introduced it, we talked about it, and then you went in and finished, right? Same thing. Mm-hmm. It's a lot easier to go in and do it that way than it is to go in and do it by yourself, right? So now he refers you to, let's say, 8 or 9 people. And you go and sit down and you set them up and you answer their questions and you help them get going, right? And it's customer and it's customer and it's customer and it's customer. Well, what happens if one of them says, well, what do you do? Like, why are you doing this for him? Or like, how do you guys make money off this? Well, it's interesting that you should ask. Why don't you watch this video? You see what I'm saying? And then that person could be a builder, right? But then you sign them up still under Styles. You don't take them. You don't ever take them. That goes against the karma of direct sales. You don't ever, there's no fight. That, like, if you notice anybody that we talk about where it's like somebody that we both might know, there's no fight for me. It's fine. The world is plenty big enough. There's no scarcity, right? It's all abundance. There's so many people. So if there's a joint relationship, I'd rather them be partnered with you because now they get support from me and you, right? And if you look at the comp plan, I still get paid 10%, whether it's to you or the next level anyway. And then it goes down to 5%. So what? Or 5% or 2%. I don't care. It doesn't matter because if you think with abundance mindset, it doesn't matter where they come from or who they come from. It can be in depth. It can be in width. All I'm looking for is I'm looking for people that want to go to work. So what I would do with someone like Styles is I would go back to him, you know, because you still got to, I probably do some stuff to help him get finished
He's
up.
actually texting me now.
Yeah.
He must know what we're talking about.
So I would help him finish getting set up and then say, now let me ask, because now the enrollment window's open, and say, hey, listen, you know, I don't know if you're interested in, for $29 and then a $10 a month fee, you can refer people. And if you want to refer them to me, as long as you got to give them rules though. You can't just say, give me a list of names and I'll call people for you. It doesn't work like that. You're not like, you're not their errand boy, girl. You know what I mean? Like they got to do some work, but if they can text people and say, tell them what the product is, have them watch maybe the 2-minute video or something and kind of set it up, right? Shoot, you know, you want to send me out on appointments? See, the thing is, you're getting paid on all those customers that come into your business. So why not? Right? Like, you know, because at certain points, what happens is you start running out of your people to talk to. It starts to get like, oh God, the list is getting a little, you know, crickety. And it's like, you know, so, but guess what? Somebody new comes in, guess what they got? Big, fresh list. All these new people, right? And now you have more experience than you did a month ago. So now you can talk to people 10,000 times better than you could have a month ago. So when you were going out talking to your people and getting punched in the face, right, now you're like, oh, this isn't like as hard as it was a month ago. Like the words are coming out easier. I've been on webinars. I've listened. I heard it. I feel more comfortable. So now it's a lot easier for you to go communicate with some of these people, right? So now you get a new list, right? And then they just got to introduce you to some of these people, and then you go get some customers for him. So you get if you can help him. Oh no, if he starts with $29, he can't get the fast start bonus. So that's the only drawback. But whatever, it's still worth it. You help him get some customers. He gets paid. You get paid because he gets 40%. You get 20%. So you're splitting it, right? You're getting half of the money. And then if one of those people, because it's going to happen, one of those people or maybe more are going to want to build, right? And all the team stuff's already built in anyway. So all you got to do is get them plugged into the team list. They can get on webinars. They can be promoting people on the webinars. Like, you don't have to do, you know, really that much. And when I'm done with building the training, on-demand training stuff, we'll have on-demand training videos that people can go back and watch. So there's a lot of stuff that you can just plug them into, right? But it's you getting them interested, you know? Mm-hmm. So listen, building a network, it's not where a lot of people get stuck, is they get stuck because it's like, who do I know? And they can only see the limit of their sphere.
Right.
That's all they can see. Mm-hmm. But it goes so far beyond the limit of your sphere. You know, Andrea, right? Mm-hmm. Andrea will, you know, leave names out, but Andrea, one of the first people that she talked to, this gentleman has a small business networking group. And he has like 3,000 small businesses, and all of those businesses come through his networking group for training, for tips. They do like monthly, annually stuff. He's getting like 42 new businesses are coming in a month down in Texas. Huge networking group. And, you know, he's only on as a customer right now, but I know he's looking at the account plan, and I know he's looking at the product. As soon as, you know, now some stuff, we were waiting for some stuff. Now that it's good, I'm going to circle back around with him, because now, you know, we're going to see like where he might be as far as, you know, building a business. But let's just say, if I were him, if I were this guy, he's got all 3,000 people that are small business owners. Their cell phone numbers, they've already opted in for them to receive text messages. I would have the company, I would send the company, Vox Direct, the list, have them upload all of those text messages, or text phone numbers, and then I would send out a text message to that entire group letting them know, this is my new 800 number, this is my new local number, because it'll be two new local number and a new 800 number. This is my new number for business networking. You're going to receive updates periodically from this subscription, from this line. And then also, if you want to call, you're going to call in to these numbers, and that'll go through my virtual receptionist. And anybody who's interested in getting set up with that same service, go to this website. And I would have there's no way I wouldn't have a website if I was him, because he doesn't even have, all he's got to do is text it out to 3,000 people.
Yeah.
And you're going to have, it's almost like impossible not to have 1,000 customers. 1,000 customers. And like, not for nothing, but think of the math, right? If you look at on this comp plan, let's just say they all came in as pro, none of them are building anything. This is just, they're just going to do like what he did, which is pro. So $89 times 1,000 customers. That's $89,000. Now, the first month, the commission is 40%. He would make $35,600 if they all came in one month. $35,000. You, being the person who brought him to the table, would make $89,000 times 20%. You would make $17,800 first month.
It's crazy.
Now, second month, 89 times 1,000 people times 10% would be second month. Your residual would be $8,900 off of that one person who was able to refer 1,000. Okay?
It's crazy.
Now, you're going to tell me 1,000?
You can retire off one person.
That's how this business works. Melissa,
Yeah.
That's how this business works. That's why some people run around with their hair on fire. That's why somebody like me would be working all day, every day, talking to as many people as they can, because I've seen it already. I already know that this stuff can happen. Like, I already have a taste of it in my group. There are things like this happening all over the place, right? This is how it works. That's one person, right? $8,900 a month. Now, you're going to tell me out of 1,000 people, nobody's going to want to build a business? It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go. Thousands crazy, right? Let's do this. 3,000 people, right?
Oh.
Let's say 10%. Let's say 300. 300 times 89 times 20%. $5,340 first month, $2,700 a month residual. That's 10% of the network, right? Now, let's say out of 300, 10% of them build. That's 30. 30, they go out and sign up, I don't know. I mean, who knows? You don't know what 30 people is going to be. I can't even, you can't build that out. But you get it. You see what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah.
He's now, he's not going to, he has to be sold on this more. So it's going to take more to get to that point. Mm-hmm. But it's there, and he's already on as a customer, and he's already got the network. Like, it's just going to be a matter of him flipping the switch and saying, okay, I'm willing to, put this out there to people. And he doesn't have to build it. He can just let whoever's going to build it. And he can point to the team, because the team has the tools, and he can just be the conduit, and then other people can be builders. and then you don't know who they're going to know. Because
Right.
it's not signing up 30. It's never one. One could be 1,000,000. One could be 100,000. One can be one. You don't know what one is, right? So when I go through my list of people that I enrolled, some never showed up to one thing. Some didn't show up to anything, and then all of a sudden today, they're like, what do I got to do? Some were engaged all month, you know. Some had a little success. Some had more, you know. Some were like Kenneth, where they're used to getting on and doing webinars. Some, it's like, you just don't know. You don't know. And this business is all about our growth of what we go through mentally and spiritually as we start to build our network, because we have to face our fears. We have to face our rejections. And but you just don't know. And that's why you got to just keep going. You have to have a big vision, and it has to be an inspiring vision, and you just have to keep going in order to have success in this. Persistence, 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 persistence. Do the best you can. Rule number 4.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What was that?
Oh, sorry, that was my text. Sorry.
You're excused. All right. Well, hey, listen, Melissa, if you got to go to help Styles and nobody else jumped on, I had a feeling that we were going to have a little slower night tonight, so it's good. I'm glad we got a chance to do this. I did record this. I'll put it up in the, good training in here. So, yeah, let's rock, man. Let's get everybody. The enrollment windows are open. Let's promote heavy. We'll meet back on Friday night, and depending on who comes, we'll either do this or we'll present. Very flexible. We're going to use our time wisely. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Awesome. You guys are doing a great job. You're doing a better job than both of you think you are. You are.
Melissa.
Listen, Andrea wasn't on the line, and this wasn't recorded.
You'd say something else, huh?
I would. Yes, I would. I would say something.
Yeah, but you know what?
But thank you, Glenn.
But you don't know what I know.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
don't.
I
I'm
wish
sorry.
that was in your head.
You don't know what I know, and you haven't seen what I've seen. I've seen people that would be the most unlikely leaders emerge because they just didn't stop talking to people, and then someone talked to. I'll give you a perfect example before we end. I had the last company, not the last company, but a company that I helped build, Viridian Energy. It was a low-cost green energy company. That company launched out of Connecticut. There was a girl who owned like some kind of shop or something. I don't know what it was. I don't remember what kind of shop. She had some kind of shop, and she signed up for this low-cost green energy thing. Never built anything, nothing, right? Some guy comes in the shop. She talks to the guy. The guy signs up. That guy signs somebody else up. That guy ends up talking to this guy, Joe. Joe, who was a friend of mine, the company he was with was just getting ready to shut down. Joe but ultimately built a network that ended up having about 300,000 meters, and probably more than that. And Joe and Frank, his business partner, were making 300,000 a month in passive residual income. But the person who owned the shop had enough business outside of Joe where they were making 20 to 25,000 a month in residual income. So
Wow.
You don't know. That's why you have to show. You have to bring it to people. You have to talk to people. You just have to continue to keep growing and learning and getting better and studying. And when you start to feel a lack of excitement, you got to dive into the personal growth, come back to the team, and get into action. It's the only way to cure it. You know, non-activity does not cure, like, I don't want to say depression, but it doesn't cure, you know, bad feelings about what we're building. Non-activity is not the answer. The answer is always activity. You have to get into activity. You have to get back into personal growth, and you have to come to the team. Doing stuff like this, getting together, you're going to either bring excitement to the team, and the team is going to feed off you, or the team is going to feed off the excitement that I bring or others bring. So you're either bringing or taking excitement. But when people just don't come, they don't show, when they're not engaged, that's when there's no activity. When there's no activity, there's no momentum. And when there's no momentum, there's no success. So you have to get into activity. The more activity, the better. And success breeds success. When you start to see it winning and working and happening, it's just, but you can't stop. You can't slow down. You can't let your brain and your demons start to convince you of something that is not true, which is that it's not working. I've seen too much. I've seen too much. And the only time I've seen people lose is when they quit. So, all right. Hey, listen, guys. Girls. Have a good night, and let's rock out for Friday. Okay?
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Sounds good. All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
You got it.
Bye.